I used to believe I had it all: corner office, executive parking, an assistant who knew my coffee order better than my own name. My days were carved into power meetings, decisive calls, and industry shaping deals. I was the CEO of a fast growing tech firm, and they had just whispered that I was in line for a global executive chair. I should have felt triumphant. I did, for a moment. My husband, Daniel, was once my equal. We met in graduate school. He was brilliant, kind, and patient. After our second child, we had the hard conversation. I had just secured my first CEO position, and we both knew the demand it would place on our lives. He agreed to step back, stay home, raise the kids. It made sense on paper. He was incredible at it. The house ran like a clock. The children adored him, behaved like angels when he was in charge. When I tried to parent, it felt like I was speaking a different language. I blamed them. Then I blamed him. When I got the news that I was being promoted, full global oversight, travel, power, I felt something crack, not joy, not pride, but a strange emptiness. Daniel was supportive, as always, but I had already started pulling away. I began to resent how easily he wore domesticity. I, in my tailored suit and ruthless schedule, began to see him as soft, passive, boring. My affection cooled. I started coming home later, refused to participate in anything family-related. I had more important things to do. Billion-dollar important. That night, we closed the acquisition of a major competitor. I didn't want to go home. I picked a random upscale restaurant downtown, ordered champagne alone, and toasted myself. That's when he walked in. Ethan. He was tall, lean, stylish in a way that said money without effort. We started talking. He was a VP at a biotech firm, confident, witty, and charming in ways Daniel hadn't been in years. He laughed at my dry humor. He understood the language of high-stakes deals and investor relations. When he asked for my number, I gave it without hesitation. When he asked if I wanted to continue the night, I didn't think twice. I stayed in a hotel. The next morning, I walked into our kitchen, hair still curled from the night before, and Daniel was waiting. His eyes were red, the kids still asleep upstairs. He didn't say a word, just looked at me like I was someone he didn't know anymore. I told him to leave. I told him I wanted a divorce. Cold, final, and he left, just like that. The next year was a blur of board meetings and private jets. And Ethan. I saw him often. He made me feel alive, relevant, desired. I told myself I'd upgraded, that I was finally with someone at my level. But that afternoon, the one that changed everything, was supposed to be a surprise. I had a long lunch break and wanted to drop by his office. I even bought 2 overpriced coffees and told the Uber driver I was meeting someone special. At the front desk, I gave his full name. The security guard frowned, typed, checked again. "There's no one by that name who works here," he said. I laughed. "Maybe he's listed under a middle name?" He checked again. Nothing. I asked for the HR directory. He called. They confirmed. No record of anyone by that name. Ever. I sat down on one of the faux leather lobby chairs, heart pounding. My hands trembled as I texted, then called. No answer. The number was suddenly disconnected. Ethan didn't exist. My mind replayed everything. His vagueness about office locations, his insistence on always meeting at hotels or restaurants. No personal details, no real anchors. He was a ghost in a tailored suit. I had given up my family, my marriage, my children's trust for a man who never was. And as I sat there in my $1,000 heels and silk blouse, staring through the lobby glass into a world I thought I ruled, I realized I wasn't at the top. I was utterly, completely alone.